Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. Hope you all are doing great. Welcome to our today's session of Meet the Global Leader. So, this session is actually organized by School of Entrepreneurship Development, and the objective of the session is to share the professional journey of an individual who is from another country, and we try to share their professional journey, their professional lessons, how they have implemented different skills in their professional career, so that our audience who are currently studying at the universities can get an idea about how professional life is and how it works, and some lessons that may help them um, decide and what skills to develop and what things to learn apart from their study. So today we have invited Ms. Bhumi. She is actually a moderator and simultaneous interpreter, and she is a researcher with a unique passion, transforming complex academic content into engaging and accessible presentations. She's specialized in data and content design across diverse fields, from economics all the way to art. So beyond research, she brings a wealth of professional experience to the table. Her skill set includes like creative problem solving, innovative thinking, and strong leadership qualities. So today we're going to learn a lot about expertise and some skills. So Ms. Bhumi, welcome to our session.
Hi everyone. It's good afternoon here in Thailand, and thank you for inviting me here. Yes, and we are waiting for diving in to your questions. So we'll see like how can we answer the question to benefit to our students.
Great. So can you briefly introduce yourself?
Yes, you actually gave the best introductions already. My name is Jarunee Suntornnark. My background is in economics, by the way, but I turned to be an MC and moderator and also the simultaneous interpreter recently. It's not like recently, but for almost 10 years already. And I hope that I'm going to share my experience to our students.
Great. So, how was your student life? If you would like to know, like, how was your student life? What did you do when you were a student that actually helped you
Yeah.
develop your skills?
Yes, I actually involved with many activities while I were the students. I would say like this is the best time in your life that you couldn't miss out, like when we have more time during the studenthood, like I would suggest that like you should cultivate a lot of time. As I didn't really study only, but I really focus on my activities as well because I enter to the singing competition, and get involved with a lot of activities. I do dancing, like Latin dancing, and I try to use my studenthood to apply to more opportunities, like apply for the exchange student program in Taiwan. And it's something that I try to cultivate my experiences much more than their academic side.
Great. And so, after graduation, so how did you start your professional career?
Actually, it's when I were in my class. Actually, there was the debating session, and I'm not sure what subject, but it's economics, by the way. So my professor just said, "Like you're really good at speaking," and then you brought out a really great point to against another side, and I just feel like, wow. Yeah, it's something that I discovered from my professor that she kind of saw something within me, and then she is a board of some organization that's very famous in Thailand, and she could be my idol. I really like her name is Dr. Ming San Khao Saat. She is a professor as well, and then she kind of like organized their social institute, like the social research institute at my university, at Chiang Mai University. And then I just like, could I just apply for a job as a trainee or, the researcher assistant? And she just like, oh, how about your GPA? And it's just like, my GPA is a little bit low, because she would accept us only the top tier student, like 3.5
Different.
GPA. Like this is the first thing that I would like to share with the students as well. But GPA is actually important when you're going to apply for the important positions, because this is the first thing that they will screen. Sometime when you hear from the CEO who are really successful, they kind of left out of school and says, well, you don't care about the GPA much, just join in many activities as much as you can. GPA could reflect your intentions. It could reflect your responsibility while you were the students, and you're just trying to be the best as the role that you taking care of. If you're a student, great GPA, high GPA is still the must. Yeah, and back to when I asked her, like, okay, my GPA is quite low, and she's just like, maybe you couldn't be my assistant because you kind of like not didn't really meet my standard. But later on, she kind of gave me the opportunity, so I entered to be her assistant later on. Yes, and I start my assistant researcher is my first career.
That's amazing, and like this is very important. I mean, it's common everywhere, but especially developing countries, this is a massacre. That like because I somehow I'm in a professional sector, so I can easily say, because like students want to hear, and most students they want to hear like that sweet word, you don't have to worry about CGPA, just
Yeah.
enjoy. But this is actually like very important everywhere. Like after a while or 2 years or 3 years, students realize that how important that CGPA is. It's because this is my primary like duty to study and do
Mhm.
good in exams. So if they cannot perform well in exams, they are most cases they are not going to be successful in professional sector, because they are
Yes.
not attentive to their primary tasks. So, and the failure rate of less CGP holders are like huge in everywhere. So this is very important. I mean, this is the main mark that actually
Mhm.
professional sector, or if I, like if I say, for example, I want to start my own business, and an investor asks for me, what is your CGPA? Say, for example, what is your CGPA? And if I say three, then he'll say, oh no, he's not attentive to his work or her work. So this is
Yes.
very important to study, and then if they have time, they can like go do some other stuff. So yeah, that is like absolutely more or less common everywhere. So you were talking about research assistant. So can you share how like working in that position, like in research assistant, how did it help you develop some skills, and that specific skills like doing research, how it has been helping you in your professional career, if you can like students who are good at research, how it is going to help them in their future career.
Mhm. Yes. That's a great question. I mean, when I was the assistant researcher, I worked in different positions. Like I either organized the conference, turned to be the curator, and also develop the proposal. Because when you work, when others you turn to be the entrepreneur, later on you have to do the pitching, you have to prepare for the project planning. And also, when I were the assistant, I helped develop the proposal to raise the fund. And this is how I learned how to write, to ask for money, and how to collect the data to confirm that, okay, I'm capable and the hypothesis is make a lot of sense to study in this field. So the donor or the funder are going to give us some support in the long term. And then when I work in my position during that time, I work in the field of tourism. I have a chance to go to many areas in Thailand. I travel around, and it's kind of helped me to develop my communication skill, because I have to conduct the questionnaire. I have to design the questionnaires, and also I have to interview a lot of people. And to interview a lot of people, you have to learn in specific area, you have to learn how to blend with the communities. And if you're going to ask some sensitive questions like the income per month, something like that, you have to have your own techniques to convince them to trust you and give you some information, because it's quite some questions are personal information, and we as the researcher, we gain information from them. And sometimes when we interview people, they don't really gain anything from us. Sometimes they give the information for free, and but later on is since we emphasize on the social side, so the results of our research is going to implement them later on anyway. So really proud of what we are doing during that time. Yes.
Definitely, and also like engaging, finding the right data and engaging, like responders or like a group of people, like to trying to find, trying to find something useful. Is very
Yes. I,
great.
uh, I I
Yeah.
mean, I would like to add a little bit more. I mean, like when you do research, of course, you know that there is there are many sources of information you could do, like the primary data research, or you can get the secondary data. But you have to come up with good questions. I mean, my professor always tell me that like if you can come up with the right question, with the good questions, and then you can seek for the solution. And most of the time, when we have to solve the problems in our life, we have many questions that arise in our life, and sometimes we have to use all of these, analytic skills to solve the problem. Just like when we try to answer the research hypothesis.
Great, great. That is true. So like you have made complex research accessible. So, how can university students learn to translate their research findings into practical solutions businesses can use?
Yeah, in my field, like according to my background is econometrics. I get involved with a lot of data, the statistics tools, like mathematics core tools. And but the most important thing for me, I think, like when we start to do research, we don't start with the tools that we have. We start with the questions and the problems that we want to solve, and then we try to seek for the tools. But sometimes we can use just only the standard tools, just only the average, the basic statistics tools to solve the problems. But to answer the question, can I remember your question now? But I think like to answer the data, if you have the tools, it's going to help you to see the trend. Like for example, if you have the trend like the line, you can see what's going on with that data is probably like if it's normal, it's going to go straight or it's go along with the circle of the data that we can predict in advance. But there might be some volatile data that we have to explain what happened during that time. And to explain, we cannot just say like, okay, it's dropped down and they probably have something wrong. But you have to read a lot of information. Either it could be on the news, on the conversation, trying to answer what's going on with the data, why is have their deviation set of data, why the data doesn't really go smooth. So you have to learn a lot from like besides of your statistic tool. Yeah.
Great. So had you worked as a sales executive. So when you were in sale, how that research skill helped you during that time?
Yeah, actually I have to observe a lot of people. Like it's more like when you talk about data, it's just already the information that really cannot communicate with you. We can see the picture, we can see the graph, we can compare up. But when we work on sale, we have to convince people. and I have to talk a lot with my clients and observe them. If they say something like this, it's mean like it's sensitive. Maybe they change their mind. And my manager always told me that like you have to capture their attention within 3 minutes. You have to close the sale right away. You give the information and then you have to close the sale. If you only give the information, if you cannot close the sale, it means like you don't get really any income. So to keep the relationship with customers is the must, and you have to offer high quality, I mean, good quality of products and service enough to convince them. Because just only saying you can convince, but they can feel that you're such a liar, you know. Then
Yeah,
you have to come out with a great product, and then your rapport is going to complement each other. Yes.
yeah, that is true. And in today's world, there is like AI, people say big data, data analysis, a lot of topics and the
Mm.
skills that are going to uh, rule the professional sector in near future. So as like from your professional experiences, so can you share tips for university students to transform research data into compelling narratives that grab attention and influence decisions?
You mean to apply AI and data analysis
Oh,
to
no, no, no. Just how can students, university students, transform research data into compelling narratives that grab attention or like influence decisions?
I would say like if you apply a lot of data, you're going to have more confidence, and it's make a lot of sense. You don't really use your sense only, because sometimes your sense could be wrong, you know, because of your emotion, you know. But if you have the data to back up your decisions, you can say that like the mistakes you reduce the mistakes that you may have in your decision process, and it's going to reduce the risk in your life as well. But things could happen, you know. I mean, like maybe you have a good plan, you have good data, but things go wrong. You have to use your instinct to solve the problems, and that's based on your experience that you cultivate along the ways of your life milestones. Yes.
Right. And there are some misconceptions, and one of them is, say for example, if I study finance, I cannot go to marketing or sales job. Like there are myths among students. Say for example, you studied in economics, but you were in research, sale, and then you were in PR and marketing. So
Mm.
we try to share the reasons, and when students or people know about the tasks that actually professionals do being in that part, in that role, then they can actually understand that if they really need to have specific background on that subject or not. So can you share a little bit about your experience as a PR and marketing manager, and what was your experiences, and the actually the primary tasks of PR and marketing, professional?
Yes, I mean it's pretty. I would say like it's not something new that you graduate from this school and then you work in different field in your life. Like I study economics, of course. Like I said, most of economic students we studied theory. I would say like the concept of how to make decisions and some tools that we can use to predict the data. Most of the time, work in the office with a computer. But I would say like to change the career path is quite normal nowadays, especially in this era that we have the internet booming. We do have AI technology. We have the advanced technology that allow us to work in different, I would say like different places, different positions, and nowadays the jobs probably arise in the, you know, like it's pop up in many career that we have not seen before, And I would say like to jump in another field, it should I'm not scared of that though. I just feel like it's something new that I can learn most of the time. And nowadays with the gig economies, if you know about that, or if like the gig economy that you don't have to be a specialist or something, but you kind of be able to do a lot of tasks like a multi potential person that you're capable to solve the problems because nowadays, like there is no pattern that you apply for a job and stay in the companies for 10 years, but most of people tend to jump in many jobs so that they can earn money. Even the students nowadays at Chiang Mai University, they don't have to graduate, but they can make a lot of money already. That's they probably turn to be an influencers and earn like 100,000 baht per month, and to compare with working in a company, they probably start from 15,000 baht a month. So we have more choices nowadays for students. And for PR and marketing, like researcher and PR and marketing is still in communication. For me, I tell myself, like I tell everyone as well, I am an adaptive communicator because I can do MCing, for the grand openings as yesterday, and then I could moderate and in the academic meetings or conference because my background is in research. So and I update my information most of the time. I read books, I communicate with a lot of people. I listen to podcasts. And as a researcher, that I have cultivated a lot of skill from interviewing a lot of people. I would say like 1 year I have to interview 4,000 people a year. So it's implement my communication skill as the moderator and also the PR marketing because I have to convince with a lot of people because I work with a lot of people in a different background, from the mountain to, the top CEO. Yes, and it's something that if students can cultivate like your skill set through activities and learn to work with others people, you will be successful, especially in Asian culture. It's not just only how you're capable to do things, you have to have potential, strong potential. And when the opportunities come, the opportunity comes with people that you know. So yes, I would like to emphasize for all students, like you have to open more opportunity for yourself.
Exactly. And maybe it's people are who are listening. It's just like a research. It's the background to do a research. The skill sets you should have, you should have, and the tasks you have to conduct to like do research. There is a lot of background, and actually those activities will help you develop a lot of skills apart from research skill. And then an interesting turn in your career, English instructor. So you work as an English instructor for Chiang Mai Institute for Skill Development. So this is because like what we want to like convey the message is
Mhm.
that if you have some transferable skills, it doesn't matter wherever you are, you can like choose any career that you find interesting. So can you share a little bit about your that turn, when did you find that you want to be an English instructor, and this institute, Chiang Mai Institute for Skill Development, what they do, like how do they work to develop skill in brief,
Okay.
if you can.
I was like, I owe my life to my English skill, by the way. I mean, because learning more languages, like in English, going to open the world for you because majority of people can understand English and then you can read books, that you can enter through more knowledge more than your language itself. And to develop their English skill, I don't try to be the English instructor or an English teacher. I prefer to perform. But I just want, I would say like English or the language is the medium to connect with people. And Yeah, and now they all my skill as an interpreter, as their moderator, and most of people just require this skill. And in many organizations as well that I train for them, because I train communication for them, and sometimes they require me to teach English because they kind of like my style of English. And then in many industries, especially the hospitality industry, or either like you enter to the startup industry as well. Um, if you're going to pitch for the CEO, you're going to raise money from Europe, from America, or from Southeast Asia. Big company going to be speaking in English. You have to pitch in English. And I have experienced that in Thai startup company. I used to be the simultaneous for them, pitching for them. Like within 5 minutes, even my background, I used to be a startup and I pitch in English as well. And I see that is the weekend point that we still have in Asia. And nowadays, like with the new generation, they study English from the kindergarten, so their skill will improve much more than like the majority of people in the 19th, century, even more. Yes. So it's open the opportunity, and I encourage a lot of people to study English and even more languages. I would like to be able to speak Mandarin, and Laos and different languages. And I would say like it's going to connect me with many people, understand people around the world.
Great. That is true. And if people, so the basic thing in English is almost common that everywhere people can understand who doesn't, apart from their mother language. And this is very important that how we communicate. So if I want to go global, I have to like at least have some like a good command over English. So
Yes, should
if
be able to
students,
understand.
yeah, students mostly study in English in universities, but they skip some most of the times about like, oh, I'm studying it, like just in a regular way. But to learn English and develop English as much as possible is very important.
Yeah,
So this is important. And if I want to say, if I want to look at what language apart from English I should learn, then we should like search the top five languages that is being spoken over like around the world. So then we will find other ways to what languages, and the more languages we are going to learn, and it is going to the thing that you mentioned, open doors in front of us. That is
yeah.
very true. So
Yes.
yeah,
I would like to add a little bit more. Like you don't be scared to speak. But sometimes like when you speak another language as another language, the second language, which is not your mother tongue language, you probably think too much about the perfection. And but of course, like you can classify people from the language and their vocabulary that you use. I mean, like when I talk with a professor in the Ivy League university, they will have the set of vocabulary that's probably English in everyday life could not understand. But we are not dictionary. Like we didn't really install the
yeah,
dictionary in our brain. But what we can have, we can apply the technology. Others you have the phone, you can use the AI tool, you could have the Google Lens. Is even the translation nowadays, they do have the machine for you. If you speak in one language, it's going to translate in another language, and that could not be the problems in the future. But it's better that we know the language, because it's going to be with us, and we don't try to rely on the technologies too much. And once like when the electricity blackout, and what are you going to do? You're going to have your skill that's kind of armed you and merged within you. Yes.
great. And what are you most passionate about your work?
What's my again, please?
I
Maybe
mean,
are in Chiang Mai, so that why the airplanes kind of fly above us
no,
sometimes.
totally all right. It gives a like different vibe. So, what are you most passionate about in your
Passionate
work?
about
Your work.
I passionate about I think I passionate about everything that's happened, the new skills that new people that I meet because I work in events or the conference. I meet new people every day, especially the interpreter, the simultaneous interpretation. I have to learn. I have the privilege to learn new knowledge. Sometimes it's the secret knowledge or the innovative knowledge that I have to improve myself to listen one time, understand right away, and tell others people what I have heard. And that is something that I just feel like I update my information and my knowledge all the time, and it's make me feel like I'm getting smarter and smarter. And and sometimes I have to relocate to different area. um, Sometimes I have to go up to the mountain. Sometimes I have to translate or perform in the middle of Mekong River, the gigantic river. The new experience that I cherish the moment with different teams. That's something that I'm passionate about. I love communication. I love English. I love learning new languages, and I love to develop myself in every day, every time. I feel like when emceeing, I love to dress up, in different themes. Sometimes I turn to be a Chinese girl. Sometimes I turn to be the Bohemian girl. It's something that I cannot really do in my everyday life. You couldn't really dress up like a cosplay and walk around the street to
Yeah.
have a microphone, talk to people. And it's something that I feel like my career gives this privilege to my life. Yes, that's something that
And
I
you are
passionate.
really happy with your like career, and we can see it from your facial expression that this
Mhm.
is very important because you have found your passion professional passion the profession that you are passionate about. So this is very important. In most cases sometimes we hate our job, but we're doing it. It is very dangerous because like the thing, if we do not enjoy our work, it is going to have negative impact on our health, on our personal life, and so on. So this is very important that if we really look for the profession or the field I'm interested in, today tomorrow we're going to get it. But passion for work is very important, and if we don't enjoy it, it is going to hamper in a lot more ways. So like in your professional career, what what are some of the biggest challenges that you face?
Biggest challenges that I have faced, I was like when I mean, in every single event that I actually have faced the challenges because it's going to have something happen like in like if the MC event at the event I have to challenges with the situation that I cannot control. Sometimes you have the list of the VIP guests pop up just right in front of there, even though I prepared in advance already. And when I were in my assistant researcher career, I have to go to the area that is quite risky, and I just want to interview people. But when I enter to the different area that I don't know, and they kind of like have there are 10 people are around me, and then just try to ask me where I'm from, what organizations sent you here. It's quite dangerous in that situation that I have to confront with people that I don't know their culture and I don't know their intentions, but I went there to serve my duty as the researcher. So it's very challenging during that time, but they just asked me for my ID card, right? Some document that I can show them, and it's quite risky. And I have to have the trick, that I need to call my manager, my professor, so
Yeah.
I forget my wallet, I don't have the card with me. It's something that you
Yeah.
have to
Trick.
avoid the dangerous during cultivate the information. It just depends on which career that you select to work as well. Maybe you don't have to be risky as I were. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So like research focuses, university research focuses on theory. So, what specific research skills are most valuable to businesses, and how can students develop them before graduation to stand out to employers?
Yeah, for the theory, I would say theory could help you to think logically and have the critical thinking so you can analyze based on the set of data, based on the statistic. And if you work in the big company, you cannot really, you have to rely on the data because it's too big. Like the populations is probably one country, or if your target market is the population around the world, you cannot use your culture. You have to look at the data set that's reviewed for you to make a decisions, and you can apply this process. You have to, if you have some problems at your work, that this is the problem task, and then you have to look. Okay, you have to realize this is your problems and what the solution that you want to solve, and then you seek for the way or the methodologies that you can solve the problems to solve the problems to get a result, and then you have to explain. You have to interpret the data set that you have by using the information that you observe by your observing skill. You have to look in many dimensions to solve the problems, and it can apply in your everyday life as well, because in everyday life we have a lot of problems to solve.
Exactly, and like research background opens doors to diverse careers. So, can you offer advice to university students on identifying career paths that leverage their research skills and interests even outside academia?
Yeah, I mean, if you are strong in academic background, it's going to open the opportunity like the data analysis. They have good salary. I mean, like,
Yeah,
and they're
true.
kind of rare to find. And and in the future, if you can foresee the future, you can design your career path. Okay, I have to do something that's related to data, and or you can understand the language, maybe the code. But like for me, I mean, like if you learn coding, is perfect language. The computer language is a must nowadays. But for me, I kind of believe as I kind of like to be an adopter, like using technologies, like using AI, Chat GPT, Cloudy, and I don't have that skill to set up um, those programs, but I just use it and apply it. And and if you can emphasize on that, just related to the new technology, of course, you're going to have the bright future. But if it's not your career path, then maybe you get lost on the way. Like you can see, like as my my example, yeah, I have changed a career, and later on I figure out, okay, communication. And I just want to suggest that, like, if you don't know what you really like, sometimes students could be like that. You don't know, what career until you give it a try. You give it a try, but we cannot try for our life because we have limited life. Let's say, like, how long would you live? I don't know, maybe less than 100 years. Maybe we have
Yeah,
advanced technology that we live longer than that, but you don't have too much time for mistakes, too many mistakes. And then I was like, if I developed my career through ikigai, is the approach in
yeah,
Japan. I think like you have heard that about that before,
yeah,
and you kind of have the three circle, and you try to find the intersection in the middle. And I would say it's save a lot of your time, what you love, what you're capable for, and what you love, what you're capable for, something that you can contribute to your society, and something that they are willing to pay for you. You have to make money as well. Why you
Definitely.
work? You work for money, and okay, money will transfer to something else. And yeah, I would suggest that the students could, if you get lost, if you don't know exactly what you want to be in the future after you graduated, yeah, Ikigai is a tool that you can search for.
Absolutely amazing. So, like, can you, we're almost to the end of the first session. So, can you share some advice for students regarding what skills they should develop before graduating, before their graduation, so that those skills can help them in future after graduation to, like, enter into their professional career much more earlier than they can thought.
Yeah, I would say like the skill set that we're supposed to have, this could be to be able to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Because nowadays things change rapidly. You cannot really stuck with the old knowledge to apply in your job. And then when you enter to the career, you have to meet a lot of people. Maybe you work with a company. Of course, you could not really use your theory, but you can use the skill to work with people. Because when you enter to the new company, the new culture, you have to learn to blend with that culture. And then the people or your colleagues are going to love and like you, and they will teach you how to work. And you have to learn new skill all the time. And you learn the new skills for your jobs, and learn new skill to work with people in team. And that's something that you have to cultivate. And I would say, yeah, enjoy your time to explore your career, to go observe many jobs, many people, what they are doing, so that why you can see the picture that okay, what you can do, and then you can decide your career path in the future. And when you start, when you graduated, of course, like people always say like, okay, don't look for money, but I think like money is very important. But maybe you enter to the job when at the first or the second years, you try to learn from your leader or the role model, and maybe you get paid quite less, but you get the experience, you get the connections, and after that you have to advance yourself, believe in yourself, and practice more and more about what you want to be and what is your goal. You try to uh, foresee that and seek the ways like methodologies. I must say like it's really um, comply with the research methodology, or the, you know, you you have the hypothesis, this is what you want to be, how you're going to be that, how you're going to be that person, and who should you meet, the environment, the friends are very important. You have to select the right community. Yes.
Exactly. Like, the very important thing that you mentioned is not only for students, but also it is applicable for professionals as well, or who are in the professional sector. That
Yes.
we continuously seek for new skill.
Yes.
Sometimes, like, after entering into professional sector, some of them like skip developing new skill, or like increase their efficiency.
Mm-hmm.
So this is very important that to for all to keep learning, developing skills. So it is going to, like, help them to update themselves for the
Yeah.
benefiting of the for the benefits of the company. So
Yeah. So
thank you.
I
Yeah,
want,
yeah, sure.
before we are leaving, I want to add that, I work with people both from the, you know, academic side and business world. I would say like sometimes we stuck with our ego. like when we graduated, we want to make the masterpiece of our work, and we lack a passion. Sometimes to be successful, we have to spend quite amount of time and also the patience. And with the academic students or academic professor, sometimes yes, we resist to learn new skill, and because we have a lot of information, and if we are we cannot unlearn our knowledge and apply the new knowledge, so we cannot improve, we cannot develop. And I hope that like everyone will enjoy today, and I hope that you benefit from this. I was still like conversation is not like big as the webinar as I expected. Yes. Yes.
Great. Yeah, definitely. And thank you so much. Like what we have been trying to do, through this conversation, we try to, connect some dots that from the student life, how a professional, started start the journey in the professional sector, and some lessons, and how do they dive into their career. So that actually going to help students, because when they know a lot about diversified careers, roles, tasks, and then they can, and also the skills, they can design their career roadmap, that I have that skill or I do not have that skill, which skills to develop or which skills to sharpen better, they should expertise, they can implement in their professional career in much better way than before. So this is our small contribution through this platform, and people like you who contribute through their experiences, their valuable advice is an asset for us. So Bhumi, thank you so much for your wonderful session and insightful advice and lessons and experiences that you've shared with us is going to really help our students to design their future career. Thank you so much and best wishes for your future endeavors.
Thank you. You're
Have,
welcome.
have a good day.
Have a good day. สวัสดีค่ะ
Sadika.